Today, running is a core part of my identity, but it wasn't always this way. Before I ever laced up my own shoes, I was following a pair of footprints. My parents ran marathons before I was born, and growing up, I looked up to them more than anyone. I saw running as a way to make them proud, a way to connect with the discipline they showed every day. When I finally started racing locally, success came pretty easily. I could beat most kids my age, and I loved the mental challenge. To me, it wasn't just about the physical exercise. It was about having a clear goal to work toward, and the mental toughness required to reach it. Even though I was into running, I never trained consistently for it. By middle school, my training was unconventional. I only practiced once or twice a week, but once a month, I head out to run as hard as I could for as long as I could. I didn't go for the physical conditioning. I went for the mental gains. I wanted to know I could handle the discomfort. However, during the track season, there was one kid who consistently outkicked me at every race. Eventually, I got tired of losing to the same person over and over again. I pushed myself into a gear I didn't know I had, reaching the point where physical pain just became a background noise. We were neck and neck through the final turn, and as we hit the straightaway, my vision started to blur. Every stride felt like a fight against my own body, but I didn't care. All I could hear were his footsteps right at my heels. I dug deep, found one last surge of energy, and crossed the finish line first, winning by less than a second. The win made the sacrifice feel worth it, but it also changed how I saw other people. I began to see running as purely a mental sport. In my head, if you were slow, you were lazy. I didn't consider the circumstances that led me to my success, instead solely chalking it up to hard work, causing me to think very highly of myself. Everything changed when I started at Bellarmine. I came into the team thinking I'd make varsity immediately and be the best in the team. That lasted exactly one day. During my first practice, I almost got lost in the hills of Los Gatos and could barely walk for 2 days afterward. Despite the clear sign that I wasn't ready to run at such a high level, I refused to accept that I wasn't the best. I pushed myself to run with the upperclassmen, treating every workout as a race, which quickly led to me falling behind, struggling to survive. This wasn't made any better by the fact that that summer was extremely hot. My breaking point came on a particularly hot day when the team did a run in the mountains after school. I hadn't drunk enough water that day and skipped lunch to make up a test, so I was coming into it extremely dehydrated and unfueled. The run was supposed to be easy, but my head was already spinning at mile 1. I should have turned around then, but I was too proud, so I continued up into the mountains. My legs were completely shot from the day before, my muscles spasming with every step I took. As I ran, I felt a nauseating pain take place in my stomach. Meanwhile, my breathing was getting heavier. I felt like I physically couldn't pump enough oxygen into my body. The pain continued to intensify until I was on the verge of throwing up. With a mile to go, I hit a wall. I threw up, and my legs threatened to give out. All I could see were the heat waves radiating on the ground as I tried to stay upright. Eventually, I managed to get myself together just enough to stumble back to the bus. I biked home that day with nothing left in me but a shattered ego. Realizing I wasn't the best forced me to rethink why I was even out there. I had to ask myself, did I like running, or did I just like winning? Whatever the answer was, I knew I didn't like quitting. Eventually, I found a new kind of joy that had nothing to do with being first. Progress. Even though I didn't start the season on a podium, I stayed consistent and kept working. I learned to love the journey just as much as the result. I started to enjoy the company of my teammates during the workouts, realizing that any challenge becomes easier when you do it together. With this newfound love for running, the training became easier for me, and I found myself improving faster than I ever had before. All of my hard work culminated at the last race of the season. Going into the race, I wasn't focused on how fast I needed to go. I was just grateful to be on the starting line with my teammates. Instead of going out on my own, I stuck with my teammates, pushed me to keep pace and run faster. With a mile left, my legs were filling up with lactic acid, and my heart felt like it was about to beat out of my chest. But I gave it one final push, giving it everything I had. I crossed the finish line in first place, but that didn't matter to me. I was filled with a sense of purpose and a genuine love for what I was doing, which to me tasted sweeter than any first place medal ever could. Today, running defines me differently than it used to. It's no longer about proving I'm better than the person next to me. It's about the commitment to being better than I was before. I still want to make my parents proud, but now I do that by showing up, staying consistent, and embracing the work. Overall, running has made me confident, resilient, and above all, someone who refuses to give up when it gets hard. And I will forever be grateful to have it in my life.